Hey guys, Fathead from Infinite Combo here. Brought Rob home today and we stopped off at Best Buy. He picked up a copy of Star Ocean and I spied what I think is a little gem on the shelf. This is a Fusion Pro Controller Power A. Now apparently it's officially Xbox licensed according to the people at Best Buy. I have no idea. I've never seen one of these, and the last Pro Controller I saw was the Xbox One Pro Controller that was supposed to be like, what, $120 or something like that. Some ridiculous price. Or $150, something absurd. And I spied this thing on the shelf. Now, this little guy has everything you'd ever need. It's got custom LED lighting, precision-tuned analog sticks. It's got the 3.5 audio port. Apparently 4 reassignable buttons on the back and quick trigger locks. I'm not even sure what that means. So this might be a diamond in the rough, or it might be a dud. Hopefully it's not a dud, because I spent my own money on this one. Now the other great thing about this, and I failed to mention it, is in fact a hardwired controller. There's no wireless, you don't have to worry about your batteries running out. Although the battery life on the Xbox One's controller on their wireless isn't half bad. I already like the look of this thing. This already looks like a little sleek machine. I like that. Even comes with a user manual. Look at that, because you can be able to reassign stuff. And so far this thing is exhibiting all the it's lightweight too. Not a lot of grip. But let's take a look at the back here in more detail. Sorry, I haven't really been detailed enough on this. So there's your trigger locks. So right now they're off, and as you can see, it allows them to depress all the way. If you turn the trigger lock on, it stops it short, and I can like feel it tapping. So I guess this would be more for like racing games, where you want to be like, you know, more gas, less gas. But if you're playing a shooter and you just need to like hammer those shots, and you don't want to have to press the thing all the way down, it's that kind of like responsiveness. So you can like keep the left trigger down and hold to aim, and that just becomes a lot faster to fire if you're doing like a semi-auto pistol in Call of Duty, or the hammer burst or snub pistol in Gears of War. It can be handy. So you've got a brightness button for your LEDs, and these two apparently cycle through all these various LED color options. I guess so. It looks like this lights up, and I guess around, look at this again, I guess around the control sticks light up too. Yeah, okay, so like the backing around the control sticks light up too. So on top of that, you've got your 4 reprogrammable buttons here, which, playing Gears of War wall bouncing, this is going to make wall bouncing a lot easier. I know the Razer Onzas and Sabertooths had this. I didn't like them. I burned through 3 Onzas in 3 months just from regular play, and the Sabertooth lasted 3 months before it died on me. But this thing already looks cool. But, I mean, come on, if I get a quality controller for like $80 with all these features that lasts a while, I'll take it. Well, stay tuned. Next part, I will be testing this sucker out and trying all the little gizmos on it. Ooh, I like the face buttons. Interesting little guy. Okay, so it's out of the box, it's plugged in, and it's a little hard to tell with the glare, but yes, it is. It's on its LED cycle. Let me get that wire out. It's on the little LED cycle. It's changing colors. It's going through. It's a nice wired controller, so you never have to worry about those batteries going dead. It's easy to find, especially in a messy room. Things I do like about it. It's visually appealing. I'm looking at this controller going, this looks like a pro controller. This looks like it's got that little bit of a flair to it that, you know, a nice a high-end gaming controller should have. It does have the options for the remappable buttons, which I find very nice and very handy. The thumbsticks are nice, deep, concave. They have just as much resistance as your regular Xbox One controller does. The trigger locks are very handy. They do feel nice. They feel solid. And the face buttons are just... it feels like an Xbox One controller. So, the only thing that makes me a little nervous about it is the shoulder buttons. Like, I can push them down a little bit before, anything actually happens. But once you do click them, they respond pretty fast. They respond as they should. But, like, that real quick impulse, it might give you a little bit of a problem. But, as nice as it looks, and as many cool things in theory and on paper as it has, we're going to test this out, in the field, which is where it really matters. So I'm going to play some Gears, and see where it takes me. Movement really isn't foreign to me using a Pro Controller or alternate controls at all. So the opening here and the base movement, I remain relatively unaffected, but the controller is very effective. The trigger locks give you this nice, consistent, high-speed firing, especially with the pistol here. I could never do it that consistently with just a base model controller. But the big thing happens right here. I'm able to look around and move and roll and bounce from wall to wall while moving the camera at the same time. It really helps having a second button to wall bounce and keep your thumb on the stick. I was able to survive and take less damage than I previously expected in this interaction because of that remappable button. Netting a kill, that was kind of him screwing up. As nice as it does look, and as handy as the features are, there's a couple of things that were really bugging me as I use this, on this controller. First thing, and most importantly, is the audio. I'm so used to having the bass turned up on my Turtle Beaches with a little attachment that they give you when you buy them, that it was completely, like, it sounded very tinny and very hollow to me with no bass sound. I had trouble telling when my grenades were going off, when there was footsteps near me. The bass really helps out in that fact. But even with the lack of bass, the audio was still clean. There wasn't a lot of, there was actually zero distortion during the gameplay. And it sounded good. But I'm kind of an audiophile, and maybe for like a little bit I could deal with it, but playing with that like day after day, it would drive me up a wall. These buttons, the reprogrammable, remappable buttons on the back of the controller here, these guys are very laborious to press. Played one whole match of King of the Hill, and my middle finger on this hand was tired from, using it to bounce off the walls. It's a great concept, but I think they could have executed it better. It's nice and light, but also feels kind of cheap. Everything else feels relatively solid about it. I give it a... out of 10, probably a 7 on the quality scale. It's easy to program, easy to change the LEDs, and it's a great starter. So if you want to know what it's like to have a Pro Controller, what it's like to have to reprogram your brain from, instead of using thumbs and these two fingers for, or these two, your index and your thumb, I should say, let me paraphrase. Your index and your thumbs are all you would have to use originally to play games, and now you have these guys on the back. So programming your middle finger to hit this button or your ring finger to hit this button, it's a good controller. It's a starter Pro Controller. If you don't have the money but you want to get used to it, I give it a 7 out of 10. Not a great, fantastic recommendation, but better than I expected, and I'm rather pleased with it. I wouldn't take it on the road and go to any major tournaments with it. Get yourself an Elite at that point. But if you're someone who's low on cash and you want those extra reprogrammable buttons, this didn't feel bad at all. It was laborious to press, and it can wear you down, and that'd probably get to you after a while. Maybe a 6, now that I'm thinking about it, but it's not a terrible piece of hardware. It's wired, easy to find, no recharging. I just wish I had more than just the jack. Well, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this hardware review. I'll be hoping to do more of these in the future. I love picking up things and hoping to find a diamond in the rough. If you liked the video, click the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe. It really helps us. It really encourages us. We want to make videos for you, and we like to see that we're appreciated. So, till next time, guys, hopefully I've saved you a little bit of cash or giving you a better controller option. And until next time, stay infinite.